Hello, hello, my sweet friends. Maggie here. Thank you so much for coming to see me today. Today I'm going to be doing hashtag 50 Stack Challenge 7 hosted by Amy from Crafty Cats. Amy, thank you so much for hosting this. This has been a great way to make ephemera. Of course, I've been kind of using mine as we go, but that's okay too. I don't know if you're going to do this again next year, but if you do, I definitely am going to try to make ephemera to have a head for projects. So we'll just see how next year goes, right? All right, so before we get started, let me read God's word. Blessed are they which do hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled. Matthew 5:6. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. Oh, yes. Thank you, Lord. All right. All right, and I have some shout outs. Emily Crochet, Susan Gazaway, Simply Cassie, Terry from Talon's Place Designs, and Terry is a new subscriber. She also has a new channel, so I will list her. Candy from Candy's Crafty Creations, Debbie Kelly, and Tammy from Tammy's Mystic Creative Cottage. So I'm going to list both Tammy's and Terry's channels in the description box. If you haven't gone over to see them, please do. You know, they're just getting started and they really need our love and support. So thank you for doing that. I appreciate it. Okay. So today, like I said, the prompts, oh, maybe I didn't say the prompts. Prompts 17 and 18 were photo, and 18 is gesso or white paint. Well, I have never used gesso, and I've used watercolor, but not in the way that I think I'm supposed to use it for this. I'm not even sure how to really use gesso. And I do have some gesso, but it's clear. You can't even see it. It says matte on here, but I put it on a piece of paper just to try it, and it definitely came out clear. So anyway, I do have some acrylic paint. I have these little tiny tubes. I haven't used them yet. I've been thinking about trying jelly printing, but I need to gather all the supplies, and I don't know how that will go. Right now I've got my hands into doing so many different things that's probably going to have to wait till after the first of the year. But I do have some paint, so I'll use that. And I took one of my master boards. I cut a good piece of it off because I'm going to make two small journaling cards, you know, for my night before Christmas journal, or I may have enough already. If I do, I'll save it for the next one that I make. So these are my pieces. This is just an extra. It looks upside down because of the Santa Clauses. I'm going to turn it that way. That was an extra piece from what I cut off earlier. So I'm going to use photos on both of them because, well, I just am. But I am going to mat them. This one I'm going to do green, and this one I'm going to do, whoops, I got a straggler here. Let me cut this little one off. And so this one I'm going to mat on red. I don't know if you can see these or not, but they're very cute. Two little ones opening up their gifts on Christmas. So sweet. And these two boys visiting Santa Claus. All right, so let's see. I think I'll do the one with the paint first so it can dry, because I have no idea how it works. So I haven't even opened this, which would have probably been a good idea. So I don't even know what to put it in. Guess I could put it on here. So I know I don't need much. And this is very inexpensive acrylic paint, so I don't even know what to expect. So I was gonna say don't expect much from it, but I'm using one of these water pens and I'm going to try to add some water to it. A couple of drops of water. So I don't know what to do with this. I'll be honest with you. I'm out of my comfort zone. So I guess I'm just going to kind of paint it on here. I think I need a little bit more. So I hope everybody's doing good. Today is Wednesday. Middle of the week if you work, you know, have a Monday through Friday job. I know you're probably looking forward to today. Today's Wednesday and your week is going to be on the downside. Because I was a nurse, most of the time I was working 3 12-hour shifts, which was probably my favorite. And so I would work, you know, our schedules kind of were staggered because we would work so many days. They weren't always the same days, but once our schedule was set, we had the same rotation all the time pretty much. So, you know, we worked every other weekend. Sometimes when you had a lot of seniority, you might get on the every third week, not every third weekend, but every, you know, you might work one weekend and be off 2 weekends or something like that, but that was very, very rare. We usually all worked every other weekend unless you were a Monday through Friday job like a manager, and I did do that for a couple of years. I think I'm using, it seems like I'm using too much paint. I don't know. Somebody tell me. I mean, tell me how I should use this. I don't mind the criticism, constructive criticism. Just be nice to me. Just be nice to me. That's all I ask. Well, I'm going to set this aside and let this dry. I'll wash this brush out. I'm done here. Okay, so I'm just going to let this dry. I don't even know how long it takes. Let me wipe my desk off. Okay, so let me set this aside. Trying to finish my coffee here. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna round the corners. You know, I love to round my corners. Although maybe I could use, instead of rounding them, I have a little quarter punch. But I don't always have the best luck with this. I'm going to try this before I actually use it. Oh, that goes in too far because my margin is very narrow. I'm just going to leave around my corners. So I hope y'all are doing well today. I'm doing fine. I'm just fine. My little granddaughter, my little sweetheart, it appears she has rolliosa because she broke out in a rash yesterday. And I guess the symptoms to that are pretty much what she has. You know, they get a high fever. And then after the fever breaks, the rash comes. And there's really nothing you can do for it. As I'm sure most of you probably know. You know, there's really nothing you can do for it. The rash usually starts on the trunk and in the neck, but it can spread to the arms and sometimes to the legs. They're usually irritable, you know, they have some stomach issues. And I'm gonna trim that white off of there. I don't like it. Let me get that little trimmer. So anyway, she's had all those symptoms. And you know, poor appetite. I'm sure the little sweetheart has lost some weight over the last couple of days, but it seems like she's eating now. She's taking her bottles and she's eating some light meals. She's not eating a ton. But the fever is gone, and it may take a few days for her to completely shake this, but she will. How she got it, we do not know. It's a mystery to all of us. Unless one of us had some bug and she just picked it up. Maybe we had we're carrying some bug and didn't know it and passed it on to her. But she's going to be all right. I'm very confident in that. I just hate to see her so sad, you know, and so cranky, because that's not her normal self to be cranky. But other than that, you know, just life. It gets the best of all of us sometimes. That looks pretty good. I don't know. On the corners in here. I love these master boards. They do come in handy. Okay, so I'm going to kind of put this on here like this. I'd like to put some ribbon, not ribbon, but maybe some lace. I do have, and I want to put it off to the side so you can still journal on it. Oh my goodness, I just got this long thing of, oh mercy, this is in a, look at this is in a knot in the bottom. Oh, how in the world did that happen? Okay, so maybe I want to put this, I'll put this here. Let me get a saying or something. There's some of these stickers. I have a ton of these stickers I need to try to use. Let's just see if I can find something that I like. Oh, let me put the lace down first. I have just got an unwieldy amount of stuff on my desk. Tell you, these little Tim Holtz scissors are the best ones for cutting lace. But I also use them for cutting out my fussy cuts too. Sometimes I use these and sometimes I use a different pair of scissors, but I love them for both things. Alright, so I'm going to put this lace right down here. I've started making some tassels that I want to share with you, but not in this video. I think they're so cute. Oh, come on, Maggie, for heaven's sakes. My Fabri-Tac has been behaving really well the last several weeks because when I put it in a new bottle, I diluted it so heavily with acetate, and it took it a few days before it settled in and mixed. But it's been coming out of the bottle so nicely when I need it, and I really am not using it as much as I used to. I've been using other glue when possible, but both of my PVA glue needs new bottles, both of the little one and the big one. All right, I'll put this. These are very simple cards. There's nothing very there's nothing too amazing about them. put Merry Christmas. I think I'm going to put some glue on this because it's going to be partially on that lace. Oh, I didn't put that down yet. Holy cow, jumping Jehoshaphat. I'm just using this because it's out. It's open and it's working well, so. I remember my oldest daughter, she was just a year old. She was just turning a year old when she went to see Santa for the first time in downtown Detroit. Oh my gosh, that poor little thing. She was so scared. She wanted nothing to do with Santa Claus. Now my youngest one, when she went to see Santa for the first time, I don't think that she got upset, but her older sister, you know, was about 8 or 9 at the time. So that probably helped to calm her, you know. So she wasn't as afraid. But my poor little one, when she was that age, she just was scared to death. And the first time I took her to Disneyland and she went on carousel, she had the same reaction, just so scared. All right, so this is the first one. I think this turned out rather pretty. It's simple, but it's pretty. Okay, now this one doesn't seem to be dry yet. So I'm going to take out my heat gun, and give it a zap. So it's going to get noisy, hopefully for not more than... That feels a little better. Of course, the glue's all coming up from... Okay, so there it is with the acrylic paint. I can see it just, you know, it pushed the design on the paper back into the back, which I guess that is the purpose. Please somebody correct me, because I really don't know. I do like how it looks. So hopefully, I'm hoping I achieved what I was supposed to, but like I said, please let me know, because this is a new thing for me. It's out of my comfort zone. It's not really out of my comfort zone. I mean, I've used watercolors before, but not exactly in this way. So please tell me, because I would greatly appreciate it. So my glue on my masterboard did not like the paint. All right, I'm going to mat this one on green. Do you have any Christmas memories that stand out in your mind? I have one. It's kind of sad in a way, but on the other hand, it's not really sad. It's just, you know, but I'll share it with you. I probably was about 12 years old. Maybe not quite that old. Maybe I was 11 years, 10 or 11. Doesn't seem like I was very old. And my parents were going through a very difficult time financially. We didn't have a lot of money anyway. My dad was a master spray painter at one of the airplane factories close to LA. And I don't know what happened this year, this particular year, that it was worse than other years, but it was worse. And we really didn't have any money, a lot of money for Christmas. We couldn't even get a Christmas tree. And I told my mother, you know, I told her, I remember so clearly, Mom, I don't want anything for Christmas. I just want my brother and sister, they were Bill and Suzanne. I want them to have Christmas presents because they're little. And my mother was sewing. She was a beautiful seamstress, and she was making beautiful doll clothes for a lady for her daughter's doll for Christmas. And I wasn't really into dolls. I liked them, but I didn't really play with them. So that didn't bother me a whole lot. But the girl herself, well, this was after Christmas, she came to me and she says, well, what did you get for Christmas? You know, kind of snarly. She says, look at my beautiful doll. And of course, you know, I didn't have anything like that. Oh, I did have something to show her. All right, so the story went, we didn't have a Christmas tree. And my mom and I went out on Christmas Eve. It was late, when all the tree lots were closed and they were just abandoned. I mean, all they had to do was come back and clean up after Christmas. And we found a tree that was left behind. It was not a beautiful tree. It was just a tree. And we took it, brought it home, and we decorated it so that my brother and sister would have a tree on Christmas morning. And I remember that the feeling that gave me was so, even though I was young, I don't know why I can remember it, but I remember the feeling that I got. That's why this picture reminds me kind of, was so amazing, even though I didn't fully understand it because I was just a child. It was really amazing to me. It felt amazing. And I was so happy that I had done that. And unbeknownst to me, my mother had found at, I don't know, a Goodwill or I don't know where she got it. It was used. But it was a little wooden chest. Not very big. Maybe a foot and a half tall by maybe, you know, this big. I don't remember. But it was wooden, and she had added some little decals or something to it to kind of dress it up. And I loved that little box. That little chest. It wasn't a jewelry box per se, but it was to put trinkets and stuff in. And I love that. And you know, I had that for years, and I treasure that. And when that girl came along, kind of being snarly with me and unkind, I showed her the beautiful chest that I had gotten for Christmas, you know. And because I wasn't expecting that. And it just brings tears to my eyes right now thinking of my mother, you know, and what she sacrificed for us as children. And so that's probably, as far as Christmas goes, the most outstanding Christmas memory that I have. And it taught me a lot what happened that Christmas, and a lesson that I carried on all throughout my life. So anyway, that was a long time ago. But it's a memory that I carry with me. I've carried it with me for many years, and it continues to remind me of what's really important and what's not important. Alright, so this card is pretty much exactly like the other card, except different colors, different scenes. I'm going to put this here, and I need a sticker, a thing for this. Is there anything on this one? You know, I can't look at this and just pick one right off the bat. I've got to kind of... Now this one I'm not going to put so far down because it's smaller. I think I will use my Fabri-Tac on top of that. So I hope I didn't make anybody feel sad or bad about that. My story, it's just a memory that I have, and it actually was a very good memory because I made my brother and sister happy. I helped my mother, and I was surprised with this beautiful little chest that I was not expecting to get. And so it had it was a very happy story. In all honesty, I'm not sad about it at all. It brings tears to my eyes only because it was a good memory. What could have been maybe a sad memory wasn't. It was a good memory. So I'm just sharing it with you, my friends, because you know I feel like you're right here with me. Oh dear, we need something to go in here. So here we go. This one needs to be trimmed. I don't think I inked around this. I don't think I inked around either one of them, to be honest. I inked around the little pieces, but this is going to need more glue in there. Maybe putting gesso or any kind of other medium on top of a masterboard isn't the swellest of ideas. I didn't. So please don't feel sad. Please, 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 because, like I said, it really was. It was sad in a way, but it was also a very, very happy memory, and one that I cherish. My mother was all about doing what she could for us children, the three of us. And my father was a hard worker, but he had some problems. All right, so here are my cards. These are journaling cards that I'll use. For sure, probably one of them in my "'Twas the Night Before Christmas" and maybe the other one in another journal. So here we go. I hope you all liked this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and leave me a comment. I love your comments. And if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Remember, when I get to 300 subscribers, I am going to do a giveaway. And it's going to be one of my journals. So I don't know which one it will be. That will be decided at that time. And by whoever wins, their preference. So there we go. All right, I'm going to get off of here for now. Please, please, please be kind to each other. Be grateful today, even if it's just for one thing. Find something that you can be grateful for and be joyful. Yes. All right. I love you all so very much. Thank you for coming today. Thank you, and for leaving your comments. Thank you for subscribing. I appreciate each one of you. And I will see you in the next one. Bye, everyone. Bye-bye.